About tiny homes these days. Habitat for Humanity of Cabarrus County is taking note, breaking the rules, and reaching out to another population of people by building these miniature homes. It's happening in a historic African-American mill village in Kannapolis. Carolina Impact's Tanisha Johnson explains.
With blades revved up, it all makes for quite the buzz in this quiet Kannapolis neighborhood. Volunteers are working to build a tiny house for Lucy Jackson.
I didn't believe that this house was ever going to get done and I was ever going to have a place to call my own.
She's amazed by how many folks are helping out. Like these firefighters
oh God, that was a close-up.
Who squeeze in time to work on the house when they're not rushing to an emergency call. A stroke survivor, Lucy moved to Kannapolis right after Hurricane Katrina destroyed her home in 2005. For about the last 10 years, she hasn't had a place to call home until now.
I'm just very blessed and fortunate. My heart is just beating from the love that is poured out here.
Like a flip-up table so that
Lucy's delighted to make some design selections
because this could be entertainment
for her 468 square foot home.
I'm going to have barn doors that separate my bedroom from the living room and the kitchen.
But unlike most tiny homes on wheels, this one's built on a solid foundation. Habitat for Humanity of Cabarrus County is building smaller homes to tackle a big problem: the lack of affordable housing.
About a year and a half ago, we built the first one, and really it exceeded our expectations to the point that we decided to do another one.
Habitat usually builds homes for families, but Dean Dawson says tiny homes are a perfect solution for singles or couples who are living on a fixed income, including veterans or the disabled. A tiny house costs about $45,000 to build, compared to a standard house nearly double in size, costing more than $75,000. Since it costs less to build a tiny house, a homeowner's monthly out-of-pocket expenses are just under $300 per month, which is more in line with their income.
As a builder, it's fun to do something like this because it's not something normal. For us, it feels good to serve families, and if we can reach deeper and serve those that are even lower on the income scale and in need, it makes it all the better.
One nail at a time, other habitat groups across the country are starting to notice what's going on here in Kannapolis.
So we had other habitats from all over the state come in and take a look at it. We had city officials from other counties come and look at it. We've had inquiries from Washington State, Oregon, Kansas, Texas, Florida. So what was fringe is now becoming more mainstream with the tiny houses.
Since Kannapolis used to be a mill town, many of the lots where mill workers lived are small. That's why tiny houses are an ideal solution to utilize these small plots of land and to help revive neighborhoods in decline. But none of this would be possible without volunteers like Joe, who's also determined to get back on his feet.
My biggest thing is trying to pay it forward. Somebody gave me the opportunity to, so I should be able to give back.
Joe's putting in sweat equity because he's also on the list to get a habitat house.
They tried to put me in a tiny house, but I eventually want a family, so I don't think it would be a fit for me. But for Lucy, though, for Lucy, it's perfect for Lucy. A little person for a little house, yeah, it's perfect for her.
Joe works alongside volunteer Jack Stein, who's retired.
So now I get to do projects for other people. It's enjoyable.
And since Jack isn't as young as he used to be,
so he does the heavy lifting. And I teach him, he teaches me. It's kind of a good working relationship.
As this tiny house on East C Street takes shape, one thing is clear.
This building is more than a building. It's really a blessing.
While Lucy has struggled to get back on her feet since her stroke and Hurricane Katrina, the one thing that brings her hope is knowing she'll soon have a place she can afford and a place to call home. For Carolina Impact, I'm Tanisha Johnson reporting.
Thanks so much, Tanisha. Habitat of Cabarrus is the first in the country to build tiny homes. Project managers say tiny houses are a great option for those with an annual income between $12,000 to $19,000.